Alright, we got solve analysis. We got CuberJohnny, 5x5, 152. He says the best part of the solve is centers. I've gotten better. Fundamentals are decent. Worst part is edge pairing, case recognition, cube rotations. A year, 4 months for 5x5, 14 to 21 hours. So some serious time. Yeah. He wants to be in chat. And here we go. So we'll see what we see. White is definitely the best option. I'm sure he's going white. If you're at 152, you don't really need to memorize three. One sec. There was like. Does this have audio or not? No audio. So just a note right here, it's kind of a nitpick. It's not like that big of a deal, but so you're right here. So you have these two like right here, and so you're gonna make these three into a bar. The first thing you do, and what you do is you do an R wide prime to do that, and then when you make this bar, you now split these two corner pieces up. If you start with an R instead, these two will stay together, and then you won't have to do a couple extra moves like. See, like, the first thing you do is you do R wide, and then see that splits them up, and now they're diagonally swapped right here. Which isn't a big deal, it just costs you, like, a move and a little bit of awkwardness, but not too bad. Alright, start there, 2x2, good stuff. I like that, D prime. I'd recommend throwing, right here. Again, not a big deal, and, like, so a lot of the stuff at, like, 150, high 150s or 5x5, you're not looking for a lot of super advanced stuff, but when you get this free bar here, really easy, just go ahead. If you just throw a U, you'll probably save it. Not a big deal if you don't, but, just think about stuff like that. Alright, orange or blue, either or is probably fine. Orange is fine, yep. Not bad there. Yep. That's good stuff. Something like Zach White wouldn't do, because Zach White's dumb. Alright, not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, one sec. Let me see more. Okay, one sec. I'll talk about finger tricks in a bit. Actually, yeah, this angle is pretty good. I thought it was a little worse, but no, it's fine. It's solid. It's actually pretty solid. You don't really need to see the left. Usually, if you're right-handed, you look at the right side of the cube, anyways. Although it looks like you're left-handed. Are you left-handed, CuberJohnny? Yeah, it definitely looks lefty here. I'm assuming. Check it out. I'm digging some cycles. I'm digging it. Digging it. I love it. CuberJohnny's right-handed. Okay, interesting. Doing a lot of lefty stuff. What? You're actually right-handed and you do that U-perm? That's weird. You gotta, you honestly look like a left-handed cuber. Like, it doesn't really matter which one you are. Just, I assumed you'd do the other way. Well, let's see. Let's see. Gonna watch another one. We're gonna watch this one all the way through too. I want to see some stuffs. See some stuffs. Yeah, are you like you're literally cubing entire? I haven't seen you do a righty flip once. Like you're like you do your entire solve as if you're left-handed. Like if you as if you're left-handed. Like okay, there's a righty flip, but like. This is a 159 average, 152 average. I saw it's probably. Oof. Let's see, it's a lot of. Yikes, that's a 27-second 3x3 stage on a 150. It's kind of a lot. Let's check out. Let's just watch the next one. Let's watch some of the next one. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. What's up, Vidal? Vidal, what's up? This is solve 3 I'm watching right now. All right. Let's go back. We're probably only gonna need to look at the first 3. All right, so let's kind of walk through the first ones. We'll point out some stuff. Okay, so I already mentioned that on the first one. All right, not a bad start. 2x2 blocks. Extend up. Make this. Where did I stop on this one? Like it was like orange next. Blue next. Yeah. Alright, so this is something weird I remember. Okay, never mind. That's right. Okay, right there. Okay, so I don't know. It looks like you're lefty. Okay, so this I don't like. Why is your hand in this position? Is kind of my question. Like this, like you're literally like, your hand is on the cube, like like you're holding the cube kind of like this. Like there's no like there's what move are you doing here? Like that's like to do this. Like you're doing essentially. Like you're doing this move, but your hand is like up like this. Like it looks, I mean, honestly, it looks like you're cubing mostly left-handed, so that means your right hand should be holding the cube most of the time. And if you're gonna do this move, like that'd be like me doing this, which is just like really weird. If you're gonna do like these D moves, do them like you can do it like this, or since you're like holding right-handed, like going like this is I'd like stuff like that. But like the way you're holding it, it's kind of like. Right there, I don't really see you do this anymore, but like doing an insert like this is fine. Like, but like this doing a rotation down here and then doing this rotation down isn't not what you want to do. You gotta do, I've said this before in a lot of videos, like, the insert like that, you gotta do thumb for F prime. Really important like that. I just something, never do a rotation to do your F moves. Make sure you're always doing thumbs. I say this in literally every video. No, I said it, I told someone to do that, and they were like super fast. So that's something like everyone has problems with. Just like whether or not you do it. Right here, just like a couple, like, honestly, the weirdest thing right now is like kind of how you're holding the cube. Like, this is you shouldn't, your thumb essentially should never be on the D face. Like, your thumb should never leave. Like, your thumb should be here. So like, it's kind of weird because you're holding the cube a little with both hands, so it's a little more foreign to me. But your thumb should definitely never be on the D or the U face. Like, you're holding it, like, you're either kind of holding with your right hand, left hand, or both, and both would be kind of like this, which is a little still weird because like it's not a 3x3. You really gotta like hold it with one hand, but you can switch off if you want. But like holding it, like looking around like this, like thumbs on one of your thumbs, whatever hand's actually holding the cube. Always have your thumb on the face that's on your F face. Never, like, you should never have it on D or U. Because that's just a little weird. It's hard to find the piece there. Not a big deal. It's just some... There you go. I like that his D moves a little better. Like, your left hand seems to be... Your left hand seems to be more comfortable with these F moves properly. Like, that was... Let me watch this again. So... like right there, that was fine. That was like the normal flip, which you seem to be fine doing lefties. So I'd recommend, like, it seems like you're, like, honestly, I don't care what hand you do these Avgs with. Like, as long as you can do them properly with either hand, you can do them properly with both hands. It's fine. But like, your left hand's doing it correctly, and your right hand is not. So make sure your hands are doing the same thing, and your left hand is the one that's correct. Like right there, that insert was like the cleanest insert I've seen in this whole video. Like this insert right here. Like honestly, like it seemed pretty simple, but a lot of the inserts that you've done have like kind of some weird hand movements or whatever. This one right here, just nice and simple. All right, boom, take it out, standard right there. Like stuff like that. I like that. Like seeing that. That's what we're looking for. What's up, Johnny the Cuber? We're doing CuberJohnny solve analysis right now. So you know, you guys are like the same person. This is not a critical thing because at 150, this is not something you really need to focus on. I just kind of want to point it out. You have this case right here. I really enjoy the fact that you're doing cycles. I like that. Solid stuff. So you have this piece right here is going to cycle into here. And then the thing is, this piece is the green and or the blue and orange piece. And this, like, find a better angle. See, right... This edge right here is the blue and orange one, and then, okay. Big thing right here. Another big thing, like, a lot of this, there's a lot of stuff going on when you're, like, finding pieces. Like, the way you're rotating the cube all over the place, it's like a gyroscope. Like thumbs in the front, minimal rotation, just, like, you can see all four edges by doing this. I mean, I'm assuming you guys can see a thing in the corner. This, you can see all four. Boom, boom, boom. Thumbs never leave. Yeah, so this is kind of a nitpick right here. You had essentially, let me just set up the case. Alright, so you essentially have this case. So, like, this piece cycles to here, which cycles to here. It is not something you really need to focus on. And so, like, I like the fact that you did this cycle to solve this piece. But in this specific case, you can solve both pieces by doing, since these are both 2x1s, you can do this cycle here. And when you place this piece back in, you can set it up so it finishes that edge as well. And then you can solve two edges with that one cycle. So, not a huge deal. I like the fact that you're doing cycles. Good stuff. Just kind of wanted to point that out. It's something to kind of think about. Again, just more kind of like doing rotations to look for the cube, like the, sorry. More, it's another instance of like doing rotations to find pieces instead of just like kind of rotating the cube to find pieces. Like, not like that's the same thing, but like rotating the cube and like just not actually doing a full rotation, just kind of angling the cube. All right, lefty U-perm's fine if that's what you do. It looks like you're kind of a left-handed solver. Like, it doesn't really matter what if you're a right-hander. It's like, are you? You seem to be. I would classify you as like a left-handed solver. Yeah. I wouldn't say not to use cycles. Like, cycles are clearly the best way to do it at the very, very highest level. So getting started on them is like always good if you're like planning on getting there. But it's not critical to be like super good at them. It's just that's definitely something to have in your repertoire. And like saying you shouldn't use cycles because you can get fast at them is like you shouldn't learn any advanced 3x3 tricks because you can be sub 7 without them, like Max Park, but doesn't mean it's a good idea. Like, yeah. Right here, kind of a cool trick right here. This is kind of a specific case, so not a big deal. So this pattern right here, if you had an edge piece like that one you had right there, you can actually... You can pair it, like pretend that you don't have this corner piece and make a 2x2 block. I saw you do this in the last solve. And then you make a 2x2 block and you have this corner out here, which is really easy to pair up with another edge piece to, here, I can just set that up real fast. What case is this again? It is this one. Right, so you're essentially right here, and so you use this edge piece to make a 2x2, and then yeah. So then if you have another, like then this right here makes that next 2x3 real fast. So the cool trick right there. Nice stuff. Pull the corner out. I like that. Pulling pieces out. Good stuff. Good stuff. Centers seem to be definitely better than your edges. I'd say there's less weird like finger trick stuff going on. Oh, this is what. Okay, so I saw this earlier and like I was like, this is wrong, but what? The hell? 1 sec. Okay, so at first look, oh my god, I'm so stupid. Holy crap. So Johnny doesn't do this in the ideal way, but I now realize the best way to do this case. Holy crap! Oh my god, I've never done this before. So, man, I'm glad I saw this video because me thinking I knew the best way made me realize I don't know the best way. What is this case exactly? It's a 2x2, and then it's a 2x1. This is too hard to set up, but essentially what you want to do in this case, I've now realized is it's really tempting to put this 2x1 and just match it up here, and then you have this awful, like, I can set up that case, that's easy. You have this awful, if you match up the 2x1 there, you have this awful this case, which takes like this, and then 2 of those like 6 moves to even set up to that. Instead, what you do is from right here, if you do an R wide U, R wide prime, you then get this 3x2, and then this corner is now where this corner is, and it's faster. So that's the optimal way. CuberJohnny does not do that. Well, actually, what he does is also pretty solid. I don't know if he was planning all that, but that worked out nicely. Let's see. Green, white, not bad. Not white, not white, not bad. More the same, like just the weird. It's a little just weird on the switching from the right and the lefty holding style kind of thing. Jig. It's a little odd, but you know that push is interesting. But you seem to be consistent with it, so I usually think if you're consistent with it, it's okay. All right, so then okay, so this one had a proper lefty or right-handed. You did a proper right-handed flip here, but you didn't do one earlier, which I thought was weird. Like, that's the proper righty flip. So just do it like that every time. It's a little confusing to me. A lot of rotations in cross. Just like rotations in general, there's just way too many of them. Way too many. Cube rotation. I even mentioned it as one of your weaker parts yourself. Like, yeah, there's a lot of cube rotations in here. This is a bad big cube OLL, but not really not much to do. Alright, so this is a very easy orange, obviously. Yep, start there. Right, okay, so you have 3-move first 2 centers. Memorizing your third center or third bar is not a big deal. So I need a 3-move first 2 bars, not a big deal. But if you have a 3-move first 2 bars, which you did, if you get something really easy, you should be thinking to yourself, all right, this is super easy. Let's go for a little bit more than I'm used to. So I would like to see that there. Good stuff. Right here for this case. Right here. So in this case, unfortunately, it's a little far on the right side of the screen. So let me just get there properly. It's kind of a last 4 center case. Actually, it's like more of a last 3 center case. So essentially, you have like you have this case right here. And like normally if this is last 2 centers, you'd be forced to do these 6 moves, right? To do that. But since this isn't last 2 centers and this center is free as well, you can go R wide, U prime, back, boom. So you can do both moves on different faces at once. Just a good thing to know. Use both those free faces. Yo, drink me, there's no certain speed. I accept solve analyses of all speeds. The only restriction is that you actually, if you're too fast on 3x3 and 4x4, I don't recommend you submit, but I imagine that's not what you're asking about. So right here, this is actually an interesting case that I didn't know for ages because I'm an idiot. So right here, if you had this case, it's pretty, like, the natural thing is like, okay, you do this, right? But there's a better option. Well, don't do it with that push. Like, I just have my hand up, so. One sec, oops. You go, does the insert at the same time. Definitely better. Another good thing to know right there. Yo, Sam, no, let's not. Don't be telling people they can't submit if they're not any good. I mean, a lot of times there's not as much. There's more fundamentals to be learning. If it's more like fundamentally stuff. Like if you submit and you're brand new, it's like I'm just gonna be telling things you probably already knew you need to work on. But you definitely can submit at any point, and there's definitely stuff to tell you. You just might know some of it sometimes. So I'm seeing a lot of these D wide. I'll talk about finger tricks later. There's like some weird stuff. Right there. Okay, so I've seen it's really inconsistent on like what finger tricks you're using for like which case you get. It's kind of hard for me to understand what's going on. It's like right here. So you have these two solved on the left. And then you rotate, and then you insert on the left. Like, okay, that's not ideal. What I highly recommend in this particular case is when you have the face in front, do a back insert here. Like getting good at back inserts is like back inserts are just another option to have in cubing. It's really good to know no matter how fast you are. I definitely recommend back inserts. You don't have to. It saves a rotation. Also like. Yeah, yeah. Slice up, slice. Alright. Alright, so we're just going to go over those three because I'm 100% sure the next two solves are going to be more of the same. The biggest thing I wanted to talk about is finger tricks on this stuff, and the biggest thing I noticed was, I think I saw, let's see, let me just solve sandwich real quick. Well, I didn't, so there was just an overabundance of, where do I want to start with this? So, first of all is like kind of cube position in the hand, so I just forgot to do my trick. So like, I already mentioned this, but like home row, I guess, is like, home row for key typing or whatever, like, thumbs in the front, like, you're kind of, it's honestly a little weird how you're holding the cube, like, it's can't, like you can't really decide if you want to be left-handed or right-handed. It's not a big deal to be, like, being good at both is ideal, I guess, but it's kind of like you're good at neither right now, which is a little concerning, but I guess I'd recommend keeping with doing both, but making sure you really are cognizant of exactly how you're turning the cube, like, you're kind of like, if you're doing right-handed moves, you're really not stable with your left hand. You're like, left hand's kind of like a little wonky. And if you're doing lefty moves, your right hand, the same thing's a little wonky. Like, you can't be doing, on big cubes, I don't think it's really reasonable to be doing both at the same time. Either you're holding with your left and turning with your right, or holding with your right and turning with your left. And I think it's, like, ideal to be able to do turns with both. Pretty much no one can. But I think it's definitely a good idea. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But you just kind of got to get a little more comfortable with it because it was definitely a little wonky looking. Other than that, yeah, make sure your thumbs are on front always. I don't want to see, like, doing rotations like this to look for pieces is a big no-no. You can see every piece in the cube without moving your thumbs off of the center pieces. If you want to, you can do a rotation. This is rotation, is the only acceptable rotation, this move right here. This is it. Keep your thumbs still on this front face. But here you can see everything, the back edges, everything right there also. Same thing like that. Really big stuff to know right there. I don't want to see your hand up here, weird stuff like this. D moves were alright, but not the greatest. Which brings me a big point. My next point is that I think I saw you do like a wide U move like once in the whole, like, three solves. Like, if there's these pieces right here, ignore this. Like, the option would always be to do this kind of D, like, which involves you, like, picking up your hands weirdly or something weird. Like, D moves are always worse. Like, U wide, like right here, boom, U wide, U wide, U wide, U wides. Highly recommend learning some U wide moves. Like, right here. Like, if we were here, I'm, like, pretty confident in this position, you do a D and then rotate. As opposed to doing just, where were we? Right here. As opposed to just doing a U wide and then having a much better situation. So I really, really highly recommend getting used to more of those U wide moves. Really going to be helpful. Stuff like that. Last four edges, I thought were not bad. I'm liking the fact that you're getting used to cycles. There were definitely some more stuff you can, like, learn on with cycles, but I think it's a good idea to start learning that stuff. At 150, you really don't need to be super focused on, like, having optimal cycles. You'll kind of still figure that stuff out as you go. After that, though, 3x3 stage is honestly, you need to work on your 3x3 stage. So 150, when I averaged 150, 3x3s were worse. I don't know what that means in terms of relative speeds, but when I averaged 150, I averaged about 14 on 3x3, which means that 3x3 stages were probably about 20. I think yours are pushing like 25 to 30. Like, I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. I want to get the first three at least. Like, I saw a two look OLL, stuff like that. Really recommend, like, it's kind of gotten more common, like, recently to like, just really just, like, disregard on 127. Like, completely disregard, like, any notion of, like, practicing 3x3 at all if you want to do big cubes, but you got to be at least decent. So, like, that was a 27-second 3x3 stage on a 154. Like, really, with how good cubes are now, probably want to be more about a sub 20 on 3x3 stage. On 3x3 stage. Or your 3x3 is about 15. Okay, so I don't know if your cube is bad or something, but if you're averaging 15 and you're getting a 27 right there, and then the next one I think was 25, and then I'm going to check the last one, like, something is up with your 3x3 stage. Like, the turning is just, obviously, like, if you're averaging 15, your turning is much faster than this. Your no inspection crosses definitely are hurting you. I have a couple notes about that in a second. So 127. So this one was a little faster, but this one was still, like, that was 27 seconds again. So, really recommend, like, so for no inspection crosses, The biggest problem with no inspection crosses is that you start the cross and then you immediately just start doing moves. That's a bad idea. If you're averaging 27 seconds in your 3-3 stage, you can take 1 second to like quickly see where all the cross pieces are. As you get more experience at this, like I can see all the cross pieces and make a cross that's maybe not optimal, but like I know where the cross pieces are gonna go like really almost instantly in my head. So like maybe take a second, pause for that. That's totally fine to be doing. Other than that, I don't know what cube you're using, but like the TPS is just obviously like really slow, stuff like that. So 153, where's this one in the Redux? This one has 29 second 3x3 stage. Like, yeah, 3x3 stage is really killing you. Like probably 8 seconds on 3x3 stage right there, along with the other stuff. And yeah, so those are kind of the big things. 3x3 stage, yeah, it's like, let's see. I averaged 6 and I got an 18 second 3x3 stage last comp. Yeah, wasn't that on double parity on a 6x6 though? Which takes about 5 seconds minimum. That's pretty poor though. Wushuang M. Okay, that's a good cube. So I'm not sure if it's that you're just like less comfortable solving on your 3x3 stages on big cubes, or what. Because if you're averaging on 15, you're definitely like you definitely know your stuff, and you definitely should be more comfortable. Like I've seen like a lot of like the way you're kind of holding the cube is a little odd for big cubes, but it's not. Like on the last solve, I guess on the third solve, what's like specifically like on this solve? Like on this solve, 142 hit last layer. 2 look OLL. Like that's a 12-second last layer with a Wushuang M. Like that's definitely something that that's mostly just like I think if you average 14 and 155, that's reasonable splits. You don't need to focus on getting like you can focus on whatever you want. Like those are pretty reasonable to have both. And I was a big cuber back in the day. Like I've always been a big cuber, and back in the day those were like my splits. But there's definitely kind of something going on mostly with your turning, because I know you have like the mental ability to do it. Like it's probably all in your turning. Just it's kind of hard to exactly dissect it, but I think a lot of just the way if you start to correctly hold the cube more as well, it'll kind of help with that turning, and then just like kind of focusing on it a little bit. But yeah, that was the analysis.